The outbreak of COVID-19 is accelerating Canada's transition towards a cashless society. In just years, the way we purchase goods will be faster and more convenient, but the shift also raises questions, especially around privacy. Joining us for a look at what lies ahead is Futurist Nikolas Badminton. Always good to speak to you.
Good morning.
Boy, you know, I've talked about this before. This pandemic has really accelerated our lives into the future and what it could look like. Many retailers have stopped accepting cash, and this transition towards a cashless society has been underway for more than a decade, but we've really seen it speed up. Where are we at this point, and what are some of the benefits?
Yeah, I mean, some of the benefits are that we don't have currency in circulation that potentially harbors viruses and other nasty things. So it's good to actually move to this contactless payment society. We've seen a leap of over 4% in contactless payment just in the last couple of months. So there's a real benefit to that, not having to carry cash, not having to go to an ATM, not having to go into a bank. Just means that there's less points of contact for potential, getting COVID-19 during this time when there is still a risk.
Yeah, trying to control the spread of the virus. Right now, the value of money comes from how much of it is out in circulation. So if we remove cash from the equation, what's the transition to valuing, assigning value to our money?
You know, central banks still control this, and whether you've got actual physical cash or it's digital cash or something that's just a not normally sort of used currency out there, there's no effect to that fiat currency as well. But there's other challenges out there like cryptocurrencies and new ways of looking at new forms of currency from big players like Amazon and Google eventually that's going to sort of change the game a little bit in terms of value of currency and the Canadian dollar.
Well, banks right now have full control over the creation of money, but cryptocurrency is changing that. How will this change our cashless society? Could we be seeing multiple currencies within one country?
Yeah, absolutely. I actually think that it's going to be a global effect when we see the tech players stand up. Imagine if Amazon created their own currency and their own payment ecosystem, and people want to get paid for the jobs that they do in Amazon dollars, and they spend Amazon dollars, and they try and displace sort of the US dollar, the Canadian dollar, the British pound, so on and so forth. It's going to become a really interesting world in the next 10 to 15 years, and there's going to be some real struggles between central banks and the big players out there in the world.
Last question, Nick. In about a minute we have left, there are a lot of concerns when you're talking about digital currencies about privacy and those who don't have bank accounts, people who are experiencing homelessness, for example. There are countries in the world right now who use QR codes to help solve some of these problems. So how does that possibly have an effect here, or how could that be effective here?
Yeah, so actually going fully digital means that the underbanked and the unbanked can't get hold of the money that they need to survive on a daily basis. These are the vulnerable populations we need to look after. Yeah, I do think everyone's got a cell phone and everyone's got the ability to scan a QR code these days. So, this is going to be a shift, and we're going to see it on our streets. And I think that we need to be open to still helping those vulnerable populations. And yes, this has been accelerated in places like Hong Kong and China and across Asia because they've had that technology for a long time, and they're putting it to good use out there.
Nikolas Badminton, always good to speak to you. Have a great weekend.
Thanks very much. See you later. Bye-bye.